Okay, you guys. So tonight we need to sit down and really break down what just happened on Remy Ma's Instagram Live, because if you watched it, you already know this was not just another late night vlog. This was a full-blown event. This was Remy Ma showing up at 1 in the morning, with her makeup half melting off, with her daughter reminisce Mackenzie hanging in the background, dropping a brand new record, performing a verse off the Big Bronx remix, and casually sliding shot after shot at Claressa Shields while pretending she was just there to promote a song and a Lifetime movie. Baby, the math ain't matching on this one, because nobody goes live for 45 minutes, drops a Nyx remix, hops on the front the block freestyle, and then dares the camera with lyrics like, "You keep jumping on my back like a pogo stick." Unless they want every single person in that comment section to take it personal. And trust me, they took it personal. Now I want to walk through this whole thing with you, because the layers on this whole situation are wild. We've got new music. We've got a Lifetime movie premiere. We've got the daughter making a cameo as the unofficial co-writer. We've got the whole Remy Network camp watching from the side. And underneath all of it, we've got a not-so-subtle message being aimed at a very specific woman who has been linked to her husband Papoose for months now. So pour yourself something, sit comfortable, because this is going to be a ride. Let me set the stage first. It is 1 in the morning. She is on Instagram Live. The number on the corner of the screen says over 800 people are watching, and that number is climbing by the second. She has just dropped a song 49 minutes earlier called Put Them On, and she is hyping it the way only she can, half big sister, half drill sergeant, half stand-up comic. She says, just go put them on. Please go download it, stream it, listen to it 1,000 times. Get me lit. That is the whole vibe of this live. She is not asking. She is telling. And right next to her, sitting like the world's smallest hype woman, is her daughter reminisce Mackenzie, affectionately called the Golden Child. Mackenzie is 7 years old, and let me tell you, this little girl is already running circles around grown content creators. She is the one who came up with the clean version of the hook. She actually announces it on live. She says, quote, Kenzie, aka Reminisce Jr., aka the Golden Child, she came up with the clean version of it, which is put my besties on. Do you understand what just happened there? The rapper is on live, promoting her own song, and giving public writing credit to her 7-year-old daughter. That is not a cosign. That is a coronation. But here's the part that really got me. Remy Ma starts talking about how Mackenzie is always in the studio. She says, she is with me in the studio most of the time and when I am writing it. So she will be with me when I write it. She is with me when I lay down. She will be with me when I perform. And then she casually drops the line that broke the internet for like 10 minutes. She says Mackenzie told her, Mommy, this is my favorite song that you did out of all of them. Mind you, she has been making songs since before this child was born. So for the Golden Child to look at her mother and say put them on is her favorite, that is a stamp. That is the kind of cosign you cannot buy. Now, of course, her being who she is, she could not just sit there and have a normal song promo live. She had to do what she does best, which is make every single person watching feel like they are sitting on the couch with her in pajamas. At one point, she is literally trying to wipe off her under-eye makeup and complaining about it on camera. She goes, anybody got makeup wipes? I'm done. You got makeup wipes in your bag. Then somebody hands her one and she goes, I didn't see any in your bag. What is this? Sanitizer. That is the kind of moment you cannot script. That is real-time television. And this is where you start to understand the genius of how Remy Ma runs her platform. She is not separating Remy the rapper from Remy the mother, from Remy the boss, from Remy the petty queen. She is rolling all of it into one stream, in real time, while you watch, and somehow none of it feels staged. Now, let's be real, every single beat of this live was strategic. But it feels like family. And that is exactly why 800 people turned into thousands within minutes. Let's talk about the song itself, because this is the engine driving the whole night. Put Them On, sometimes referred to in the chat as Put My On, is her new single that dropped right before she went live. She also has a remix version that ties into the New York Knicks, Big Bronx themed remix of the French Montana and Max B classic, Ever Since You Left Me. So there are multiple versions floating around. She even tells the audience this directly. She says, and I quote, if y'all really in the real New York spirit, y'all could go download the Knicks version. Then she lists everything else they could be doing, the Big Bronx mix, the original, the From the Block freestyle, the Mary J. Blige throwback reference, all of it. By the time she is done listing, you do not have one song to stream, you have an entire homework assignment. And then she pivots, smooth as anything, into promoting her new Lifetime movie called Don't Trust the Girls Upstairs. She says, please, you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, download the Lifetime app. I believe you can watch it on YouTube as well. Make sure you go watch Don't Trust the Girls Upstairs. Then she clarifies because somebody in the comments asked why it is not on her own Remy Network. Remy Ma explains it. She says, it's a Lifetime movie. Lifetime, the actual network thing, hired me to be in the movie. So it comes out on this channel. That is her educating her own audience on the business of being an actress. Most rappers would have just said, watch my movie. She teaches you how the deal works. Now I want to slow down right here because we have to talk about the Remy Network footage, guys. If you watched the live, you saw them. She points the camera at two men sitting off to the side and says, look at footage face 1 and footage face 2. Never miss an opportunity to get some footage. Those are my guys over there. Then she starts roasting them. She says, I just want to let everybody know, when y'all see people commenting from the Remy Network page, it be these guys, bro. It don't be me. I do not follow people liking people commenting. Then she breaks down how the short one always ends up getting cursed out at least once a month, and how he is constantly taking stuff down off the page because the audience clocks him every single time. And this is where the Bronx native really shows up. Because in 2 sentences, she just protected her brand from any accusation that she is using the Remy Network page to throw subliminals, while still throwing the subliminals herself, live, with her name on it. That is jiu-jitsu level media strategy. She is essentially saying, anything petty you see online from my camp, that was them. Anything petty you are about to see right now on this live, that is me, and I stand on it. There is no plausible deniability and there is no apology. That is her operating system. But here is the part where everything escalates. Because halfway through this live, the rapper decides she is going to perform her verse from the Ever Since You Left Me Big Bronx remix. She says, pull up the TV shot. Go to like the one that we made. I'll go for y'all real quick. Then she has somebody cue up the instrumental. And then she, the same woman who, minutes earlier, was complaining about her makeup separating under her eye, locks in. The face changes. The energy changes. And out of her mouth comes a verse that is, line for line, one of the most surgical disses we have heard from her in years. Now, technically, she does not say a name. She never has to. That is the whole point. Because every single bar she delivers lines up exactly with a story that has been swirling around for months. The story involving her husband Papoose and a very famous female boxer named Claressa Shields. And once you understand that context, every single line in that verse turns into a heat-seeking missile. Let's break the verse down piece by piece, because she did not waste a syllable. She opens with, that's how you talk to me. I'm mobile. She is reasserting position. She is the original. She is the prototype. And then she goes, you getting surgery in exchange for promo on the yacht and Semyo. That right there, that is the line that lit the whole comment section on fire. Because she is suggesting that her target traded cosmetic procedures for promotional exposure on a yacht. Not just a punchline. That is a character assessment. Then she stacks the next bar on top of it. She says, you keep jumping on my back like a pogo stick in competition with a cell. Translation, stop using my name to chase relevance. Then she goes deeper. She brings up the boxing angle, don't even know that you wear a bullet through your shirt, referencing the toughness her target has built her brand around. Then Remy Ma flips it. She says, some like that, somebody has my name. That is her telling you, in plain English, this is identity theft. Somebody else is wearing her name for clout, and she is here on live, walking it back. She keeps going. Did you ever figure out where you could get my TikTok yet? What is that? Tell me about it. Your days are numbered. And, just for context, this is referencing the well-documented chatter that her target has been studying her social media playbook, her cadence, her style, her brand language, and trying to replicate it. Remy Ma's response on live is essentially, I see you watching me, and I am about to put a clock on you. Your days are numbered is not a throwaway line. That is a deadline. Then she gets even more pointed. She says, I'm a regular. A regular what? Watch this. She pauses, then she clarifies. She says, I'm a logo. That is the bar. She is the logo. She is the brand. Everyone else is trying to register a knockoff. And the whole verse is built on that single thesis. You cannot trademark a copy. Then comes the line that I personally think is going to be quoted in articles for weeks. She raps, I've been since I was wearing your shirt, with a rap claiming that they wrote those hits when they care not for me or anybody else. You always act like you help. Go help yourself. Listen to that. There are 2 targets in that bar and she stacks them in one breath. The first target is the woman who is allegedly chasing her lifestyle. The second target is anyone, and we know who has been publicly claiming credit for writing Remy Ma's records. That second jab is aimed at a very specific man. Because if you have been following this story, you already know Papoose, her husband and longtime partner, has been the subject of countless rumors that he has written or co-written significant portions of her catalog. She has been pushed about this multiple times in interviews. And every single time, she has, in her own words, told fans that anyone dumb for believing it should know better. So when Remy Ma delivers a line on this live that says, claiming they wrote those hits when they don't care for me or anybody else, that is not a coincidence. That is her using a song to settle a years-long argument about authorship. Now the verse keeps escalating. She raps, I know what the problem is. I don't really talk about prices when you bag. I keep talking numbers, but the numbers ain't adding up. You want to be a baddie, but you ain't bad enough. This is Remy Ma drawing the bright line. The numbers do not add. The receipts do not match. The persona does not stick. And then she hits with the dagger. I know how to network. I don't know money in your network. I'm an expert. And how are you talking when I know how your neck is? Listen, when she starts referencing what she knows about a person's behavior, it is not a freestyle anymore. That is testimony with a beat under it. And then she closes with the part that became an instant clip. She raps, I know you really hate my guts because you're really young. You can't make this up. They call me slim, but my W is up. They tell me I should wait for what is up. Look, it's time. And if you see me with anyone, it's mine. These others are just fine. When I rap about it, I got. Then the beat drops and she puts her hand up and goes, put my on. Put my on. I put mine on. The hook lands. The verse closes. Life goes nuclear. She turns to the camera and she goes, yeah. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, put my on. Put my on. If y'all love me and like y'all say y'all love me, whatever, 49, 59, however many y'all, just go real quick, stream that. She immediately uses the heat from the diss to push the stream count. That is content monetization in real time. She did not stop on the bar. She turned the bar into a billboard. And then she keeps going. She lists every version one more time, like a coach calling out plays. She tells the audience, I've been working. I've been working, guys. You want to watch a movie? Go watch my Lifetime movie. You want to watch something else? I have a whole network full of movies. Pick what you want to watch. I mean, I'm just saying. She is not promoting one project. Remy Ma is selling the whole ecosystem. Now I want to talk about what was happening on the side of this live, because this is where it gets really fun. Because while Remy Ma is locked into the camera, her daughter Mackenzie keeps popping in and out of the frame. At one point Mackenzie walks up and her mother is trying to tie her scarf. She has to tie it 3 times because the golden child is jumping around so much that the scarf keeps falling off. She jokes, I tied it 3 times so it wouldn't fall off while you're jumping around, mama. Where are you going? Rip your dual hair out. It is a tiny moment, but that is the entire point of why this live worked. Because in between the disses and the song drops, you are watching her be a mother. And nobody, and I mean nobody, can run that combination of pen and parent the way Remy Ma does. Then Mackenzie steals the camera completely for a second. She walks up to her mom and goes, Mommy. Look. Mommy. What is this? And Remy Ma goes, what? Back up. Then Mackenzie shows her a picture. She looks at it and goes, look at stupid my little Kens. You have gummies. Can I have some? And the chat absolutely lost it. Because the same woman who, 60 seconds earlier, was bodying somebody on a Big Bronx remix, is now begging her 7-year-old for a piece of candy. That contrast is the magic. And that contrast is why the live blew up. And here is the part the algorithm absolutely loved. Because in the middle of all of this, she keeps doing micro promos for her birthday. She says, I think Gemini is technically over. Y'all know I still need, not like birthdays long days back. She references almost going bald earlier in the year trying to bleach and perm her hair on the same day. And then she stitches all of it together with one closing hook. Just go put them on. Just go put them on. Now, the comment section during this whole live was a movie of its own. People were typing too fast for her to read. At one point she literally says, what does this say? These comments go too fast. I don't have time for this. The way my ADHD is set up. That is her gravitational pull. You cannot have a regular conversation with her in the room, even if the room is on the internet. And every few minutes, somebody in the comments tries to push her into addressing the rumor head-on. They want her to say Claressa Shields. They want her to confirm what we all know the verse is about. And every time, she sidesteps with a smile. She says things like, "What did I miss? Heard I got a real piss. I heard shots being sent. I'm sorry, but you missed it. You are still pretty as. Still up with my sis." Listen to that. She is acknowledging that shots have been fired in her direction, and her response is, "You missed." That is it. You missed it. She is not even pretending to be hurt. She is pretending to be amused. Then somebody mentions a fake Facebook page tied to her target. She reads it, looks at the camera, and goes, "You have a fake Facebook page too." Then she pauses. Then she sighs. Then she goes, "Oh, what can I do, bro? It's too much." That sigh, that little sigh, is doing more work than 3 diss tracks. Because she is not even mad. She is exhausted with the situation. And there is no greater flex in hip-hop than telling somebody, "You are not even worth my anger anymore." Then she layers on the line that every single woman watching screenshotted immediately. Remy Ma looks at the camera and says, "I'm a good girl and a bad and a real person at the same time." That is the thesis statement of her entire career. That is the line that has been her brand since she was a teenager in the Bronx. That is the line that explains why she has somehow managed to be a wife, a mother, a CEO, an actress, a network owner, and the most feared female battle rapper alive, all at the same time. She drives down all of them at once. And then she starts taking questions. Someone asks about the original King of Kings. Remy Ma's mother apparently helped solve the mystery. She says, "I watched it 3 times. That's my mom. My mom was like, and that little sneaky, so you know that's who the killer was." I was like, I ain't going to say that. Even her mother is a casting director in this story. That is how deep the family business runs in this house. Then the questions pivot back to "Don't trust the girls upstairs," and she keeps repeating the title. Because she understands SEO better than most influencers with marketing degrees. She knows that every single time she says the title on live, the algorithm logs it, the comments echo it, and the search bar fills up. By the time the live is over, "Don't trust the girls upstairs" is trending on every platform that listens. Now, let's talk about the moment that almost ended the live. She touches her under eye, and her lash starts coming off. She holds it up to the camera and goes, "Why would y'all not tell me that my neighbor looks crazy like this? Why would y'all tell me that?" It literally separated the whole thing. It's gone. I have nothing under my eye. Anybody got makeup on? Then she announces on live, "I don't think I can save it, guys. I don't think I can save it. It's gone. Bye. Good night. Get home safe." That's how it starts. It has to go. And she starts laughing. She is genuinely laughing at herself. There is just her, a missing lash, a giggling kid, and 800+ people watching the unscripted moment unfold. This is the part that the broader entertainment industry keeps missing. Remy Ma is not going viral. She is showing other artists what going viral actually looks like. Her daughter is sleeping on the floor in the background. And every single one of those flaws is exactly why people stayed for 40+ minutes. Because the more polished a celebrity live looks, the less you trust it. And her life looked like the inside of your cousin's kitchen at 1 in the morning. That is the trust signal. Now I want to talk about why this matters in the bigger picture. Because this is not just about a song promo. This is about a strategy. She is in the middle of a year where her name has been pulled into multiple narratives she did not create. There is the Claressa Shields situation. There is the Papoose situation. There is the never-ending writing credit debate. There is the question of how the marriage is going. And instead of doing a 30-minute podcast interview to clear her name, she is doing something much smarter. Remy Ma is dropping music, posting visuals, doing one live, and letting the bars do the explaining. Because here is the truth that no one wants to say out loud. When she raps, the rumor dies. The rumor cannot survive a 16-bar Remy Ma verse. The rumor cannot compete with a hook the daughter co-wrote. And that is exactly why this live, on the surface a casual song promo at 1 a.m., is actually a masterclass in narrative control. Let me get into the part where she goes deeper on her writing process. Because she addresses the writing rumors with one of the most devastating lines of the entire night. She is reading a comment, and somebody is asking about her pen. Without skipping a beat, Remy Ma says, and I am paraphrasing here because she keeps moving, that she is not even going to dignify it. She just says, "Now she does know my raps. She is with me in the studio most of the time and when I am writing it." She means Mackenzie, her 7-year-old daughter. That is who she presents as her witness. Not a producer. Not a co-writer. Not a label rep, her child. Because if a 7-year-old can sit there while Remy Ma writes a verse, then the idea that somebody else is writing her catalog falls apart in real time. And the way she delivers it, there is no heat in her voice. There is no defensiveness. There is just a mother explaining her job to the camera. That is what makes it land. Because the more relaxed she sounds when she shuts down a rumor, the more obvious it becomes that the rumor was never holding any weight to begin with. Now I want to highlight one moment from the live that I think a lot of people missed. Because right after she drops the verse, the chat goes wild, and one of the Remy Network guys leans into frame. She looks at him and goes, "Now you say it like that. Now that you say it like that, like, no, 'cause I didn't think of it like that. But now that you put it like that, I can see how you know, that could be, it's gone. It's gone already. It's already gone. It's gone. It's gone." Remy Ma is talking about a post going up on the Remy Network page, and the guy is essentially negotiating with her in real time. And Remy Ma cuts him off by saying it is already gone. The post. The drama. The whole thing. Gone. Then she turns and says, and then the other one, he'd be like, "I told him. I told him. I knew when I saw it go up. When I saw it, I knew you were going to say something. I was just waiting for you to say something." Remy Ma is doing impressions of her own employees. And it is funny. It is actually genuinely funny. And every laugh in that chat is another minute of watch time for the YouTube algorithm. Now, I want to circle back to the Lifetime movie for a second, because there is a moment about "Don't trust the girls upstairs" that I think is going to age really well. She is genuinely proud of this project. She says, "Don't trust the girls upstairs." She repeats it. She tells people exactly where to watch. She tells them the Lifetime app is free. She tells them it might be on YouTube too. She says, maybe there's a couple of places that you can watch, but I think the Lifetime app is free. So make sure you go, guys, go watch Don't Trust the Girls Upstairs. She is not just promoting a film. She is removing every possible reason a viewer could give for not watching it. She is closing the sale. And then her 7-year-old comes in with another impromptu mic drop. Mackenzie walks up and starts asking about a song. She says, "Mama, what is the name of this song?" Then Mackenzie just says, casually, like she has done it 1,000 times, "Put them on." That is the kind of moment you cannot fake. And every single person in the chat fell in love with this kid in real time. Then she turns the camera around again and starts roasting the Remy Network guys one more time. She says, "Y'all be having me dying. Oh my lord. I can't. I cannot, crazy. It's crazy." And then she pulls it together because somebody is offering her a drink. And here is the moment that goes wildly viral in the clips. She turns and says, "Not every time when I take a drink. Every time when you take a drink, I'm about to tell you re-drunk for the rest of the year. You hear me?" Then she called the bottle babushka, and the whole chat lost it. Now let's talk about why this matters from a marketing perspective. She has accomplished, in one 40-something minute Instagram live, what some artists spend an entire album cycle trying to do. Look at the deliverables. That is the Remy Ma effect. And every other artist who is on live tonight doing a clean, perfectly edited, brand-safe stream with 3 sponsors in the frame, they should be taking notes. Because she just proved that you can sell 10 different products in one go and have your audience thank you for selling them. Why? Because she is not selling them. She is sharing them. The difference is everything. And it is exactly why her relationship with her fans, the Remy Mafia, is what it is. She actually mentions the Shifia by name during the live. She says she tried to do a private listening earlier with some of her closest Remy Mafia members. She says it was a mess. She says they were on Zoom. She says it crashed. She says, "If I apologize for the technical difficulties, we'll work it out better for next time." That is humility. From Remy Ma. On the same live where she just delivered one of the year's sharpest disverses. Most artists, when they make a mistake, hide it. She apologizes for it on her own platform, on her own time, in her own voice. And then she gives a soft, almost offhand tease, "I told you I'm going to go live for my TikTok tomorrow. I don't know what time. Let me test it out first to make sure I can even figure out how to make it work." That is Remy Ma teasing a TikTok live for the very next day, immediately after wrapping a 40-minute Instagram live. She is not retreating. She is not logging off. She is announcing the next show before the current one even fades out. That right there, that is the kind of session extension move that the algorithm rewards every single time. Because the viewer thinks, okay, I will catch her tomorrow too. Then she circles back to the casting call. Because somebody in the chat asks if she is doing auditions for the music video. Her eyes light up. She says, "Are we doing a casting call for the video?" Like the girls in the video, the guy in the video. Then she answers herself. The director's doing it. I don't know. Pay attention, guys. I might do a little mini casting. Then she explains the hook one more time, because she is the kind of host who refuses to let a single viewer leave confused. She says, it's like my on, well, Kenzie, aka Reminisce Jr., aka the golden child. She came up with the clean version of it, which is put my besties on. Then she says, if y'all want to be my video besties, I don't know, man. I might have to put up a link so y'all can come. Now think about that. She just turned her own daughter's clean version of the hook into a fan engagement loop. The audience that wants to be in the video has to associate themselves with the golden child's clean lyrics. So now you have the kid involved. You have the mother involved. You have the fans involved. It is a closed-loop economy, and the family is the platform. She keeps the chat going. She apologizes for not having makeup on for the full 45 minutes. She says, I had my makeup on I got it done at 10 o'clock. Literally said, I didn't forget about y'all. She is still apologizing for showing up at 1 in the morning with a fresh diss after dropping a new song while promoting a Lifetime movie. And let's talk about her outfit, because she actually breaks down her whole going-to-bed wardrobe. She explains, my white beater, my boxers, preferably girl boxers, the boy ones having that thing sticking out, some extra large or large men's sweatpants. And I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. That right there is one of the most quoted lines from the entire live. Because she just gave women in the comments a permission slip to be comfortable. Remy Ma normalizes regular life in a culture that has spent the last 10 years pretending celebrities don't sleep. Then the Remy Mafia guys in the chat start asking her to pull up the TV shot again. They want her to play the verse one more time. She obliges. She tells the person off camera, pull up the instrumental. Then she goes, yeah, give me some brows and some lashes and I'm gonna be here. And she runs it back. One more pass at the verse. One more chance for the algorithm to log it. One more chance for the comment section to lose its mind. While she is performing the second time, the daughter starts dancing. Then the daughter falls asleep again. Then the daughter wakes up to ask another question. And throughout all of it, she never breaks character. Because for her, this is not a performance. This is just Tuesday. Or Wednesday. Or whatever night the Big Bronx remix decides to drop. Then she announces something extra. She says, do we have a visualizer today or a lyrics video? I think we are going to put up a lyrics video today so y'all can learn the words. Not that y'all ever have a hard time learning my words. That is her confidently telling you, my fans memorize my bars on contact. And she is not wrong. The chat is already quoting back the lines from the verse she performed 2 minutes ago. Let's talk about the bar that I think will outlive this entire news cycle. Remy Ma raps, I don't play those games. You got this, say my name. You all. She is essentially saying to the woman she is allegedly aiming at, call my name and watch what happens. That is not a flex. That is an invitation. That is a billboard that says, if you want this energy, post one more time and she will pull up. With a verse. With a daughter. With a network. With a film. With a wardrobe of receipts. And here is the part where you have to give her credit, even if you do not like her. Because nobody is doing what she is doing right now. There is no other female artist in hip-hop who can host a live that doubles as a press conference, a parent-teacher conference, a music release party, a brand activation, a beauty tutorial, a film premiere promo, and a diss track unveiling, all at the same time. Most labels staff entire departments for what she just did from her own couch. Then somebody asks if she is shady. Without missing a beat, the friend in the room goes, very shady. Remy Ma laughs. Then she says, I don't know why she's so shady. She's always been shady though. Then the friend says, she's like, I'm shady. And the room cracks up. That is the Remy Ma defense mechanism. Anytime somebody tries to label her, she labels herself first. You cannot insult her with anything she has not already said about herself on live. The vulnerability is the armor. And then the live starts winding down. The under-eye lash situation has gotten worse. The daughter is sleeping for real now. The Remy Network guys are smiling. And she takes one more pass at the camera. She says, I love hanging out with you guys, but it's time to go. Then she pauses. Then she adds, not every time when I take a drink. Every time when you take a drink, I'm about to tell you re-drunk for the rest of the year. It is a callback. It is funny. It lands. Then she signs off the way she always does. She says, bye guys. I love y'all so much. Good night. I got some stuff that I got to talk about and then I got to head home. I appreciate the love. I'll tune in tomorrow. I told you I'm going to go live for my TikTok tomorrow. That is the exit line. Sweet. Soft. With a tease. With a promise. With a calendar reminder. She never lets you leave without booking your next appointment. And then she does one last gentle reminder. Make sure you download the song. Put them on. Video coming soon. Do we have a visualizer today or a lyrics video? I think we are going to put up a lyrics video today so y'all can learn the words. Then she adds, please go watch my Lifetime movie. Don't trust the girls upstairs. And then she's gone. Now, I want to step back and talk about what this live means in the bigger story. Because if you have been paying attention to the entire Remy Ma narrative arc over the past year, you understand that this was not an accident. This was a chess move. She is facing a year where her marriage has been under a microscope, her writing credits have been questioned, her name has been linked to a feud with a famous female boxer, and the internet has been waiting quietly for her to either explode or collapse. And on this live, she chose option 3. Remy Ma chose to win. She is not the wife crying in interviews. She is not the woman issuing statements. She is not the artist disappearing for 6 months to work on herself. She is the rapper, dropping records, packing a Lifetime release, raising a 7-year-old in real time, and putting subliminals into a beat so precise that you cannot even sue her for them. Remy Ma is winning in plain sight, and the only people pretending not to see it are the people who do not want to admit they got out-strategized. And here is the kicker. After this live, the song Put Them On is going to chart. The Big Bronx remix is going to chart. The Lifetime movie is going to spike on the app. The Remy Network is going to gain subscribers. The daughter is going to trend. The bar about you keep jumping on my back like a pogo stick is going to live on TikTok for 2 weeks straight. And every single one of those wins came from one live. One stream. One bar. One song. One daughter. One movie. One night. So let me ask you the real question. After everything that just happened, after the verse, after the Lifetime promo, after the Remy Network roast, after the daughter cameo, after the good girl and a bad and a real thesis statement, after the missing under eyelash, after the boxers and sweats wardrobe reveal, after the subliminals at Claressa Shields, after the subliminals at the writing credit conversation, after the apology to the Remy Mafia, after the tease for the TikTok live tomorrow, after all of it, do you really think she is in trouble? Or do you think she is doing exactly what she has been doing for 20 years, which is using every weapon at her disposal to remind you that nobody does this better than her? And here is the part 1 I want to leave you with, because this is the question that I think we should all be sitting with after watching this live. If Remy Ma can sit at a desk at 1 a.m. with her 7-year-old daughter half asleep next to her and casually deliver one of the most pointed verses of her career without raising her voice, without breaking a sweat, without even fixing her makeup, then what does it say about the people on the other side of the bars? What does it say about the people who allegedly tried to copy her? What does it say about the people who allegedly tried to take credit for her work? And what does it say about everyone who underestimated her? Because she did not just put her besties on. She put the whole industry on notice. And the moral of this live, the real one, the one buried underneath the makeup and the music and the mother-daughter moments, is simple. You do not have to scream to be heard. You do not have to fight to win. You do not have to confirm to be believed. You just have to be Remy Ma at 1 a.m. with a brand new song called Put Them On, and the entire internet will do the rest of the work for you. So now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me, was Remy Ma talking about Claressa Shields? Was Remy Ma talking about Papoose? Was she talking about both of them at the same time? Do you think the golden child Mackenzie is going to drop her own song before she turns 10? Are you streaming Put Them On? Are you watching Don't Trust the Girls Upstairs? Are you team Remy Ma, or are you still on the fence? Y'all let me know in the comments. Because the next chapter of the story is loading, and I want to know exactly where everybody stands before she drops the next bar. And trust me, the next bar is coming. That's all I have for you tonight. Make sure you go Put Them On by Remy Ma. Make sure you download the Lifetime app and watch Don't Trust the Girls Upstairs. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss part 2 of the story, because we already know she is not done. And neither are we. I'll talk to you later. Bye.